My name is Japheth, and this happened when I was 10 years old. We live close to the forest. In the forest, there's a well. Other people still use that well. I heard on the news that kids who fell in the well, some of them survived and others didn't. I would always go to the well with my sister if we ran out of water. One day, my mom received a water bill. We didn't have any money because my mom's salary is in August. So we decided to get some water from the well. The well was far away. People in my neighborhood said that the well was cursed, but I didn't believe that. I don't really believe in ghosts or monsters. One day when I woke up, it was 8 a.m. I noticed there were many people in the woods and police cars. Curious, I went there, and what I saw was shocking. A woman was found dead in the well. Her body was floating in the water. When the ambulance arrived, it was too late. The police said that someone pushed her in the well, so they started looking for the suspect. I was afraid to go to the well alone that day. A few months later, my mom was washing the dishes and there was no water, so she asked me to get water from the well. I nodded and started walking to the forest. I brought a flashlight because it was 6 p.m. When I arrived at the well, I noticed a man. He was wearing a black jacket and he was carrying a bucket, so I ignored him and started to get some water. Then the man said, "Hurry up, or you'll end up like that girl." I was freaked out, so I hurried up and went home. But then, my bucket was leaking. It had a big hole. Why didn't I notice this before? When I looked back at the man, he wasn't using the well. So I went back home and got another bucket and went back. And he still hadn't gotten water. So I hurried up. And then the man said, "You again? This is my well." "But sir, my uncle built this well for the neighborhood." I was shaking. Then he punched me in the face and grabbed my hair. I was just a boy, and I was weak compared to him. He started to laugh like crazy. Then he tried pushing me in the well. I was crying and screaming, and I thought maybe this was my last day alive. Then I saw a flashlight. When I looked, it was my mother and some neighbors. When the man saw that, he carried me and threw me in the well. It was a good thing I know how to swim. My flashlight was broken and wet. It was dark. I heard some punches and screaming, and then I heard sirens. It was the police. When the police arrived, along with some firemen and an ambulance, they immediately arrested the man. It turns out he was the one who killed the lady. And I was going to be next. Good thing I was safe. The man was sentenced to life for his crime. And I'm still wondering, what would have happened if my mom and some of the neighbors didn't hear my screams? I might be dead today. I'm 21 years old and live in the state of Paraná, Brazil. I love to hike in small forests near the town, especially following train tracks. One day I was hiking on one of those train tracks that had trees on both sides. I was far away from the entrance, playing with my walking stick like it was a sword, when out of nowhere, a group of around 5 men appeared from behind the trees. They were like 100 meters away from me, but I could see all of them were carrying white bags on their backs. And at first they were walking in the same direction I was, but one of them turned around and started yelling at me, asking, "Who are you?" And the others started to yell too. "Come here, you want to get hurt?" I was in shock. I just shouted, "What?" And they responded, "Come here so we can beat you." My heart stopped. I turned around and started to run as fast as I could, just thinking this cannot be true and avoiding stumbling on the track. I ran a mile before hiding in a tree and looking back to see if they followed me. I didn't see anyone, so I caught my breath and left this track as fast as I could. I still don't know what was in those bags, why they yelled at me. or what would have happened if I stayed. I don't go hike anymore.